G'day, what is up everybody? Welcome back to TechMinders Academy. If you're new here, I make quick and easy Excel tutorials to help you save time and boost productivity. In today's video, I'll show you 10 essential Excel tips that every beginner and even intermediate users should know. Make sure to watch the video until the end because the tip number 1 will completely change the way you work in Excel, I promise. So stay tuned and let's get started. At number 10, we have freeze panes. How often when you're working with large dataset, it's hard to keep track of the headers. So to keep the headers, what you do, go to View, click on Freeze Pane, click on Freeze Top Row. So now your header stays no matter how long you scroll down. At number 9, we have Remove Duplicates. We often get messy data set and that has got a lot of duplicate values. So what is the quickest way to get rid of them? So select the column, go to Data, click on Remove Duplicates, click OK. Boom. Excel will automatically remove all the duplicates value. At number 8, we have flash fill. Do you want to split names in first and last? So just type in the first result manually. Ellis Johnson, so first name in column B and last name in column C. So having the cell selected in column B, just press Ctrl and E. So now you have the first name of all the names that are in the list in column A, and the last name, again do the same thing, having the cell selected in column C, Ctrl E, boom. We now have to have the first name and last name split in column B and column C. At number 7, we have Format Painter. So what if you want to copy the same formatting in one cell into the another? So rather than doing it manually, you can actually use the Excel function of Format Painter. So say HR needs to be in red color. So what I'll do, I'll select the cell and then click on Format Painter and then select the cell that I want this format to be copied into. Boom. Finance needs to be in green color. Format Painter, click on Finance. Boom. ID, Format Painter, ID. So now you have got the same color coding as what you would expect. So rather than doing it manually, you can actually use this Excel function of Format Painter. At number 6, we have fill series. So Excel has got this function where it actually looks at the patterns and auto fills the series for you. So in this instance, I'll select this selection 1 and 2, hover over to the selection until I see this cross sign, and then drag it down. So Excel actually sees the pattern and it actually fills up the series for me. So it not only does this for the numbers, it can actually do the same thing for the months. So say if I select June and July, so it knows starting at June and has got 1 month in the following. So again, do the same thing, select and then until you hover until you see this cross sign, and then drag it down. So it actually fills up the months for you. So this is actually a pretty cool function when you're working with Excel and you have got large data set. At number 5, we have AutoSum. While working with Excel, you might come across this instance where there's a long list of numbers that you want to sum. So rather than doing it manually, where you do equals sum bracket open and then selecting the range, no, that's manual. So what we instead do is, let's get rid of this. So what we instead do, select the cell where you want to see the grand total. Just press Alt and equals. Done. This is all you need to do. This is AutoSum. At number 4, we have Merge and Center. So a professional looking Excel report has got a nice heading. In this instance, the heading is not that nice. So what we instead do, select the heading and all the cells that the heading falls onto and click on Merge and Center. So now it brings the heading right in the center, right above the table. At number 3, we have today's date and time. So what if you want to put in the date and the timestamp for the work that we have done? So just select the cell, and this is where we're going to be putting in today's date. So select the cell, control and semicolon gives you today's date. What if you want to put in the timestamp for now? So again, selecting the cell where you want to put the timestamp, control, shift and semicolon. So it gives you the today's time and the date. At number 2, we have insert rows and columns. I want to add a new row just above banana. So clicking on this row number 3, insert. This is one way of doing it. What if I teach you a shortcut for it? So again, selecting the row, control, shift and plus. This will add you a new row. Similarly, what if I want to add a new column just in between product and price? So I'll select the price column, and again, one way of doing it is clicking insert. The shortcut again is selecting the row, control, shift and plus, adds me a new column. At number 1, we have convert data into a table. So how often do you receive a data set that is in a range format, and is not really nicely formatted into a table? So what do you do with that? So select your data, press Control T, press OK with this box ticked. Okay. So Excel will now convert your selection into a table with the headers. You can get rid of your filter buttons by going on to table design and unticking the filter button option. Yeah, so this is your table. Brings us to the end. Let me know in the comment section your favorite tip from this video. If you learned something new, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.